Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Commio's latest Telecom Wise Guys webinar. Today, it's going to be myself from Tim McLean, Director of Marketing from the Commio side, with Anthony from Telinta. Anthony, welcome in.
Thank you, Tim.
Appreciate it. We're going to really going to cover today how to optimize your VoIP platform with superior calling, better cost, quality, deliverability, all those great things, and also really focus on phone numbers, DIDs, how to get them turned on, and really sort of create a holistic ecosystem for your voice needs. So really we designed this webinar for, whether you are a startup VoIP provider or you're planning to upgrade your existing services. You know that call cost, quality, and deliverability really are, critical, along with easy access to new phone numbers. And you also need a cloud soft switch and multi-carrier routing combined that you can rely on. So together, that's what Telinta and Commio can do for you. So with that, I really want to hand it off real quick, hot pass over to Anthony to talk about Telinta, and then I'll loop back in and tell you guys a little bit about Commio. So with that, there you go, Anthony. It's all yours.
Okay, very good. First of all, I wanted to thank you, Tim, for hosting the session, and thank
Welcome.
everyone for their participation. Um, it's a very good opportunity. Um, a little about Talinta. Basically, we were founded in 2002, and we're one of the companies that actually pioneered the concept of hosting a soft switch in the cloud. So we have a good amount of experience in the VoIP space. And we've provided partition soft switch for hundreds of VoIP service providers and their resellers all around the world. We call our platform Telicore. And basically, Telicore integrates together switching with real time billing and also some of our own custom developed solutions, things that are only available with Telinta. Telicore is the largest hosted soft switch of its type anywhere in the world. Our main facilities are just outside of New York City at 165 Halsey Street, with additional infrastructure across the country and in key markets around the world. Our business model is that we sell to VoIP service providers and only to VoIP service providers. We never sell to end users. We never sell to enterprise customers because we don't want to compete with our customers in the marketplace. And we've done business all over the world. Our solutions are all white label because we want our customers to use their own brand in the marketplace. And not only can they use their own brand, but if they have resellers, the resellers can also use their brand too. So it's a very white label solution. I call it carrier neutral, but basically you can bring your own VoIP termination carriers and your own DID providers, such as Commio, um, and other service providers as well for SMS, E911, voicemail transcription, taxation, and a variety of other things. So basically, we realize that running your own VoIP service provider business is putting together a complete orchestra of products and services that you need. So to help you with that, we've put together a very comprehensive ecosystem of industry leading partners. We do that to help you, but we also do that to help you steer away from providers that might be less reputable, might offer problems down the road. When you sign up with Telinta, we give you comprehensive training to help you get started. And then we provide 24/7 live technical support every day of the year. Christmas, Hanukkah, Ramadan, 4th of July, nights, weekends. We have a team of engineers on shift ready to help. This is just a basic representation of a VoIP service provider business. That's our platform at the base. You build your business on top of our platform. You connect your termination providers, your DID providers for many industry leading DID providers such as Commio. We have APIs that make it easier for you to integrate their DIDs into the services you provide on our platform. So if you're working with Commio, the API that we have to them makes it very easy to run your business using their DIDs. We have resources for your end users where they can log into a brandable portal, see CDRs in real time, and do some other account management functions. And as I mentioned, there's brandable resources for your resellers as well. So basically, we give you the tools to run your own business. We also have auto provisioning profiles for IP phones, which we'll talk about a little later, and then also mobile, desktop, and even web-based soft phones that you can brand and use with your business. These are just some of the solutions you can offer with our platform. Obviously, we're not going to talk about all of them. They're all white label, and it's a carrier grade platform. But probably the biggest opportunity we see now in the marketplace is for hosted PBX. This is extremely popular, and our customers are competing with other service providers, large, slow, expensive incumbent service providers with things like hosted PBX that are very cost effective and extremely flexible to win business customers. Our PBX solution is an extremely feature-rich solution. You can offer things like dial by name directory, hunt queues, hunt groups, call queues, voicemail to email, fax to email, email to fax. You can customize music on hold, customizable IVR, which can be recorded and uploaded in any language you need. Auto attendance, things like press 1 for sales, press 2 for support, things that help your customer do business. And also IP phone profiles that help streamline provisioning. The actual rollout of IP phones can be challenging. So we've created a solution where you can use the power of the cloud to help automate the process. And the way it works is it may be the first time that your company has provisioned a specific model phone, but odds are we've provisioned it many times before. So we've created auto provisioning profiles that put together the unique attributes for that model phone. You enter your administrative portal, and this is the Telinta resource that you handle all the other functions of your business, your routing, your rating, your billing. So you don't have to go to multiple places to provision phones. You can do it all on our platform. You build your inventory of phones by entering the account details, the phone number, MAC address, and other variables. And with this, you can provision virtually any type of IP device. We have hundreds of popular IP phones already with auto provisioning profiles, video capable phones, cordless phones, even ATAs, analog telephone adapters. If your end user still wants to use an analog phone, door units and paging speakers, things like that can also be integrated with the PBX services that you offer to your customers. And the way it works is the phones are loaded with a provisioning string that points to our platform. When the end user just plugs in the Ethernet cable into an IP network, the phone automatically reaches out to the platform, our platform, and downloads a configuration profile. So this can be done without even sending an installer. No truck rolls, no hands-on configuration. Basically, it's plug and play, and it's something that the end users can even do themselves. So the end result, fast, error-free automated configuration of IP devices. It's not just for the initial deployment of phones, but you can also use it to upgrade features, upgrade firmware, add or subtract different capabilities. It's a very useful tool. And as I mentioned, we have profiles developed for just about every manufacturer in the marketplace. But sometimes your customers may not work from a physical location and want a physical phone on their desk. They may work in a more virtual setting. And for that reason, we developed a solution on our own called Virtual Office. Virtual Office lets you provide hosted PBX features to small and home based businesses or businesses where their people are on the go. They're not sitting at a desk behind a phone. The way it works is your customers sign up online, they move through a brandable self-service portal and do features on their own. Things like selecting DIDs and toll-free numbers. They can add extensions, set up voicemail, configure an auto attendant, IVR. They can set up call routing by time of day. So maybe during the business day, it routes to their home office. At night, maybe to their cell phone, and then after a certain time of night, it can go to voicemail. So they can set up their own business hours as well. Um, as I mentioned, it's online sign up. So again, there's no installer visits needed, which means now you can sell hosted PBX not just across town, but across the country and even around the world. We invite you to visit our website. There's a solution page for Virtual Office. Look for the Try Me icon and take a free test drive of Virtual Office. Just in summary, our solution includes customizable portals, things that you can use with resellers, distributors, specific agents. We have end user portals. They're brandable. They're multiple languages. We have customers that target specific uh, ethnic and demographic groups. So they want the portals to be in the language that their customers speak. Something very easy for us to do. We provide you with a wide variety of end user payment options. You use your own credit card processors. You can do business in multiple currencies. We have a special plugin for PayPal. And if your business even wants to accept cash payments, we can show you how to do that as well. Billing, again, it's one of the sweet spots of our platform because billing is fully integrated with switching. You're not having to import and export things from one system to another. It's real time, so both you and your end users have access to real time CDRs. Real time means they can see their call details as it happens, but they can also you can also provide services on a prepaid basis if you'd like. You can create your own discount plans, promotions, subscriptions, virtually any type of recurring or non-recurring charge you want to put on an invoice, you can do with our system. And um, again, integration. So a lot of our solutions are all integrated with a single relationship. You can offer a PBX with mobile extensions via a soft phone. You can offer SIP trunking. You can create your own bundles of services for your customers. A lot of what I talked about today is technology, but Telinta is more than technology because you need people, people who can train you to help you get started, people who can support you around the clock, and people who are experts at developing something that can meet your special needs. And we'd love to tell you more about that. As a thank you for attending this webinar, we'll offer anyone who mentions this webinar who contacts us a one-time $400 credit on their first Telinta invoice. And this is our way of saying thank you to new customers who start new service. So please contact us at info@telinta.com. We're happy to answer your questions.
Thank you, Anthony. That's fantastic. And we did get a couple questions, and everybody hang around. I'm going to do my little piece, and then we will share those questions. Let's see. So let me go ahead and I'll get my slides back up on here, and we will continue. You got them, Anthony? You can see it, okay?
Yes.
All right, great. All right. Well, thank you for that. And we've been working with Telinta now for how long has it been, Anthony? Has it been almost what?
Many years.
Yeah. Say I lost count after 6, so it's been a long time. And we have a good reciprocal relationship. And we are very aware of Telinta's and Telecore's capabilities, and they're a perfect match with what Commio does. And we sit in a unique position in the ecosphere. What we do, and I'll walk you through all the things that we can enable through Telinta right now, and then we'll end with the questions. So really, we'd like to say that, we used to be called Think. Many of you, or some of you may have said ThinQ. That's fine. But really it's Think. And we recently became Commio almost 2 years ago now. And we'd like to say that at Commio, better customer experiences start with us. And really it's our job to enable anybody in any organization who interfaces with their voice needs to be able to create better experiences with our technology and our carrier relationships. And as Anthony mentioned, Commio is a bring your own carrier solution for lots of different VoIP providing companies like Telinta, but also, things like Twilio and Flevo and SignalWire. We have relationships with everybody. So when it comes to that carrier layer, how you're actually delivering those calls, how you're getting your phone numbers, that's where Commio, that's where we play. And we do it quite well. We've been doing it now for over a decade. So really, we're here to kind of eliminate, all the worry, the unnecessary costs, and all the complexity with turning on voice as well as text messaging in your solutions in concert with folks like Telinta and Telicore. So I'm part of my job as a director of marketing at Commio is to really reduce the telecom jargon and give you guys more control. And we can't get away from all the jargon, but we can do our best to get away from as much of it as possible to keep it approachable and easy to integrate, easy to use. And we really do. We offer two things. We have a great platform that people use primarily for setup. Um, and then once they get to a certain size, they'll pretty much use our APIs to automate every single thing that they do with us. So, but you have both. You're able to log into a platform to do anything you need, but also use our APIs to do the integration and also get the information you need from our systems. And just like Telinta, we have 24/7, 365 coverage on our support. And I think what makes us unique, it's all US based. We have folks, in different time zones, and if you have a need, you can pick up the phone or send us an email, open up a support ticket, and you are going to get a response. And anybody who's worked with us knows that a lot of people work with us because of, well, two reasons. Number one is the support that actually answers the phones, responds, and makes sure that we're here to help when you need it. But also, we make it so much easier to buy port provision phone numbers, domestic, toll free, and then get all the phone numbers you need for text messaging. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So let's just take it, by the way, just to, if when and if you guys sign up for Commio to power your Telinta install, this is one of the screens you'll find. You can see down the left, our main groupings of product offerings, starting with inbound, which of course is our toll frees, sorry, DIDs, as well as toll free and domestic, +1 calling. We also do outbound, and this is actually a picture of all of the outbound providers that we at Commio have a relationship with. And if you sign up with us, you also will immediately have a direct connection to all 40 of these voice carriers. And we're the ones that basically install the pipes, and you can choose which of the carriers handle your calls. And we have technology that gets eerily close to artificial intelligence that decides which carrier. If you turn on more than one, our software will decide which carrier wins, which ones get to carry your calls, and also which ones, based on cost, will also help you guys, save money. That's what we're here to do. So the more traffic we have on our network, the better the costs we can get from our providers, and we can pass on to you. Um, but in any case, this is just, this is sort of the money shot of our platform, of the carrier level of control that you have once you connect us up through Telinta. But let's stick with the calling features that we offer. So the first is reliable voice. We are a co-located solution with a high level of uptime with direct to carrier pricing. And we make sure that we've got redundancy built into our system as well as into our products themselves, to make sure that we keep the uptime really high. And I like to say, as the marketing guy, one of the most fun things I can say, which is amazing to me, Anthony, we still get customers on the line who say, wait a minute, so you're telling me Commio is a RESP org, so I can get a toll-free number today. I can get it activated today and start delivering toll-free calls. Well, absolutely. You absolutely can do that. As well as any domestic number that you would like. We have phone numbers in all 49 states. We're still working on Alaska, but we're getting there. And we have multiple providers, both for the outbound as well as the inbound side of voice, which is something new. And I want to pause there to make sure that that sinks in with you guys because it is something truly new and unique. So, if you're running any sort of a system and you realize that, let's say I'm here in Raleigh, and all of a sudden today people are not able to call my business phone number, they cannot get through. That's an inbound call coming in, right? Well, up until now, what would you do? You would file a support ticket, say, hey, nobody can call into my business line, and you would wait. You'd wait to hear back. Like, oh, yes, there is an outage with so and so or a service interruption, and we don't have an ETA, and you just have to wait for the phones to start ringing again. Um, with Commio, you're able to go into our system, get with our support team, and say, "Hey, my direct lines, the lines that I have from you, Commio, are not able to accept calls." And we will be able to switch those phone numbers on the inbound side to another provider that we have a relationship with in your market, and the phones will start ringing again in several minutes. So what I'd like to say now with Commio, for the first time ever, you're able to have total control from dial to delivery. So I think sort of everybody's used to the idea of having multiple carriers on the outbound leg. What they're not used to and they've never heard before is that there's somebody now, us, who has multiple on the inbound side. So when you talk about having 99.99% uptime as well as inbound and outbound redundancy, there's really no better place to have your phone numbers, um, and your inbound and outbound, as well as your text messaging, because we also have direct connects with all of the DCAs in the messaging space than you ever have under the Commio umbrella. So really excited to say all of that. So again, you're able to search our library of phone numbers. We have millions of numbers available. You're able to buy them, provision them. You're able to port them, and get them up and running the same day. Now, of course, if you're porting, that will still take time for the losing carrier to do all the usual things, but everything else can happen same day, which is pretty exciting. And I'm saying here intelligent routing. Many of you, if you've been in the industry long enough, have heard the term LCR, least cost routing. We did build our own LCR, but we made it intelligent, which means that basically we are doing least cost routing, but our software is actually paying attention to your call patterns. And over time, especially if you're running like a high volume contact center or any sort of a voice business on our LCR for either domestic or toll free, we'd learn your dial patterns because most of you probably will have calls coming from very similar places over time. Some of you will have wildly different call patterns, which makes it a little bit more difficult to dial in. But we find that usually within the first month of somebody working with us, our software will learn where a majority of your calls are coming from, and we'll figure out which are the highest quality carriers to carry calls coming from those locations to you and also save you money. So that's what our software is doing, is it's continually looking at your call patterns and changing the carrier lineup. As long as you have more than two, obviously turned on in our platform, it will decide over time and get smarter about which carriers will win your voice traffic. And notice I said you didn't have to do any of this except for turn them on. And people ask us all the time, well, Tim, why wouldn't I just turn on all your carriers? Yeah, we would say you should. We would say you should. There's no downside in turning all 40 of them on. Sometimes people turn certain ones off for different reasons based on locality, whatever, past issues with certain carriers in a certain location. Totally fair. And you can go on and make those changes anytime you want. Next, I mentioned Smart Toll Free. We are the one and only software-driven toll-free intelligent call routing platforms in the world. So we have relationships with all five U.S. toll-free carriers. So again, it's just like with our domestic side. When you connect us to Telinta, and if you're going to be doing anything with toll-free, once you turn on the relationship, you turn on all five carriers. You didn't have to sign a contract with any of them. We already have those relationships, but you're able to turn all five on and start having calls come inbound toll free to you through all five of those, potentially all five of those toll free carriers. So again, we are RESP org. We are basically, if you look at the ecosphere of, Verizon, AT&T, Commio are all at the same level in terms of the phone numbers that we can buy, how we can route your calls directly to any one of those, tier one carrier layers. Um, we're basically the same as they are in the world of telecom. So it's pretty exciting. And we also have, basic controls built in and fraud protection built in. One of the things, the simplest thing is we know a lot of you maybe aren't doing anything with international or very little. So you're able to go into our system and say, you know what, I don't want to spend every month more than $50 a month in international calling. That would be my upper limit. And if for some reason there's any kind of a toll fraud situation going on, you're able to put those controls in place to make sure it can't run away from you. Because we maybe if you've been in this business long enough, something can happen. And toll fraud can occur, and sometimes it could be hundreds or thousands of dollars. So we have controls built in to prevent that from even becoming a thing in your account. And last, I mentioned scale and save with Twilio. I know none of you potentially are Twilio users on this call, but that is one of our biggest claims to fame is once people create applications on Twilio, they get to a certain point in the revolution. Suddenly Twilio comes to them and becomes an overly expensive solution for what they're trying to do as they scale. And we are also a bring your own carrier solution, just like for Telinta, but for Twilio, that can potentially save money, but also increase call quality and give everybody the control level that I've just explained to you, which is pretty exciting. I won't spend too much time on texting, but know that we are a full-fledged text messaging provider here at Commio. So we have SMS and MMS APIs, so you can send simple text messages as well as multimedia text messages. Um, you can set things up in our platform. We have a direct relationship with the campaign registry and all the carriers for all the compliance measures that Anthony and I were talking about before we started the webinar today. When I started at Commio now, it's been almost 6 years ago. You could send text message. You could turn on a phone number and send text messages in seconds, and the carriers were fine with that. But over the last, 4 years in particular, all the compliance measures have come into place. So you want somebody like Cameo who can help you through all the compliance steps of registering brands, registering campaigns, helping you choose. Should I be using, toll free? Should I be using 10 DLC long code? Should I be using short code? How do I get those turned on? What if I have a compliance issue, a complaint? Our team is very well versed in all of this, can help you get up and running. And actually, you may have not even thought about offering text messaging. Well, once you turn us on for voice, it's just as easy to turn us on for messaging. And even something to keep in mind too, we also support hosted SMS. So even if you have phone numbers sitting with another provider, we can actually take over the messaging part of those numbers and send text messages to those phone numbers. So something to think about. So messaging is a whole nother webinar. We could spend a whole nother hour talking about it. And in fact, I think our next webinar will be about 10DLC messaging. So if you're ever interested in anything messaging related, go over to commio.com, click on the blog, look at our webinars, and there's lots of information there. But hopefully you'll see that again, we are the bring your own carrier solution for voice and messaging. And we're excited about it. So just like Anthony mentioned, there's if you sign up with Anthony and Telinta, you'll get that $400 credit, which is fantastic. And with us, um, we'll also give you 1,000 free minutes of voice service, and you get our discounted pricing as well. So something we can definitely talk through. What is your usage level? We can actually take in your call information and run a CDR, and we can say, hey, last month you did this much with your current provider. This month, if you had run that through our system, our software would tell you exactly how much you would have spent. So we're very data driven here. We know we don't fit with everybody. We fit with a lot of people. But we'd like to bring data to the table to see whether it makes sense for your business. We're not here to force you to buy, but we want to make sure that we're a good fit. As well. So again, promotion is valid, coming right up here. So we'd love to do business with you. So with that, Anthony, we did get a couple questions during the call. So you ready? Ready to let's do this. First question is this is Robert in Oak Park. That's in Florida. Yeah. He says, does Talinta's mobile soft phone limit the number of users? What is the cost?
That's a very good question. And one of the things that we do differently is we do not limit your number of users.
Hmm.
Actually, we don't limit just about anything. You can have unlimited concurrent calls, unlimited resellers, unlimited extensions. But with our mobile soft phone, we don't limit your users, and the cost for our brandable soft phone is only $75 a month. Cost for non-brandable is only $40 a month.
Hmm.
We have a special package with mobile, desktop, and web-based for $125 a month. And again, all of them unlimited users.
Fantastic. We've got Cedric here. He's on the Isle of Man. Interesting. He said, "What about your voicemail prices, and do you offer voicemail to email and voicemail transcription?" I think you mentioned that.
Yes, hello, Cedric. Good question. So our voicemail is included in our standard offer. So we don't charge for voicemail. We also don't charge for inbound calls. Our pricing is really only your outbound off-net minutes of traffic. Your inbound and your on-net minutes are totally free with us. So we don't charge you for the inbound call. We don't charge you for the voicemail, and we also don't charge you for the storage of the recordings for voicemail.
Hmm.
So basically, it's free. As far as voicemail to email, yes, we have that. We also have fax to email and email to fax. Voicemail transcription, we're integrated with two providers. One is called Mutari, another is Google Cloud.
Hmm.
Google Cloud is extremely cost effective. They have sub penny per minute pricing.
Got it. Great. Angel in New York City said, "What type of reporting does Telinta offer?"
Reporting is a very important part of your business. We offer both on-demand reporting and scheduled reporting. So obviously, common reports are end of day, end of week, end of month. You can do it on a variety of metrics, but we also offer a real-time analysis tool that lets you see how your business is performing not just at the end of the month or the end of the day, but right now. So in real time, we put together a variety of metrics that help you understand your business. You can also understand how your carriers are performing as well to specific locations. It's called CallMon, which is short for call monitor. And we'd love to explain more. And all of that, again, is included for free. There's no additional charge for reporting or call monitoring.
Fantastic. Teresa up in Montreal said, well, I think you just mentioned, can my customers see CDRs, and is it in real time?"
Yes, Teresa. Your customers can log into a brandable self-care portal. When I say brandable, they'll never see the Telinta logo anywhere. They see your logo. They log in, they can see their CDRs in real time. You also see them in real time. If you have resellers, your resellers can see their CDRs in real time also.
Love it. Love it. And Alberto down in San Antonio said, "Can my resellers have resellers of their own?"
An excellent question. Yes, your resellers can have resellers of their own, and we'd love to explain how to do that.
Got it. Got it. Well, that's great. Well, Anthony, I really appreciate your time today. I know we had a couple other questions I'm going to send your way. Those are pretty in depth, so I don't, I think we can get those over to you as well, and
That's
we
fine.
and we'll answer
We'll
those
follow up
directly.
with all
Yeah,
questions. We'll follow up by email promptly.
absolutely. Well, like I said, we'd really encourage you guys again when you sign up with Telinta, as well as Commio. We work hand in glove together. So you'd basically be signing up with both of us. And once we get everything connected very quickly, you can start sending calls and doing everything you need to do, buying phone numbers, porting numbers. We're here to make sure everything works seamlessly together. And we've had a long relationship, and we're excited to work with some new folks. So again, if you're interested to learn more about Commio, go over to commio.com, click on Get a Demo. You can also go over to the Telinta website, reach out to Anthony, and everybody on the call. We did record the session today, so I will be sending that video out first thing in the morning tomorrow. So feel free to reply. I get every single reply. I don't like companies that have don't reply to this email because it's not monitored. I don't do that. We read every incoming email and make sure we don't miss anybody's questions. So feel free to reply if you do have any other questions or thoughts. I can get you over to Anthony, get you to our support team, and I'm just here to help. So, Anthony, thanks again for your time today. Very informative.
Very
And
good. Thank you, Tim.
thank you, everybody, for attending, and we hope we get a chance to talk to you soon. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.